Well, I just received my Tales from the Darkside, the movie, Blu-ray from Scream Factory. This one was a childhood favorite of mine, but I actually haven't seen it in quite some time. So, does it still hold up? Well, let's find out. Released in 1990, Tales from the Darkside, the movie, was based on the TV series, which ran from 1983 to 1988. The anthology horror series was produced and created by legendary George Romero, and I used to watch it all the time as a kid. The movie opens with a kid chained up in a woman's kitchen. She's preparing for a dinner party, and he's the main course.
That means you have to be in the oven by no later than 1:30.
So in order to delay the inevitable, the kid insists on telling some stories from the book that she gave him. Oh, and I have to mention the film score. We get a rendition of the excellent theme song from the TV series, which I really appreciated. So the first story is called Lot 249 and involves a grad student getting revenge on some yuppies for cheating him out of a scholarship and framing him for a crime. So just how does he get his revenge, you may ask? Well, he reanimates a mummy. One of the scenes that always stuck with me as a kid was when it was explained how the Egyptians prepared mummies.
First thing the embalmers did was to stick a metal hook up his nose, and they dragged his brain out through his nostrils.
And then we actually get to see it. See, you can learn a lot when watching horror movies. The story has an all-star cast with Steve Buscemi, Julianne Moore, and Christian Slater. And hey, there's Rickles from Day of the Dead. K&B did the special effects, and I love the design of the mummy here. The story also has a nice slasher movie vibe to it, and it's a lot of fun. Up next is The Cat from Hell. This one is about an old rich guy who hires a hitman to kill a cat. So the cat showed up out of nowhere one day and has been killing his family and friends. This is revealed through a series of beautifully staged transitions. Where's Jackson Galaxy when you need him? Cat behaviorist by day, musician by night. So the old man eventually leaves for the night, and the rest of the story has the hitman trying to kill the cat. I don't want to spoil too much, but I have to mention the scene where the cat crawls down his throat and then eventually emerges from his body. The sequence is just so amazing and cool. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but if this was done today, it would be a combination of practical and CGI effects. But since this was made in the late 80s, there is absolutely no CGI here, and it looks just amazing. The performances here are fantastic, especially David Johansen as the hitman. This particular story was adapted by George Romero from a Stephen King story, and it's hands down my favorite of the bunch. The final story is called Lover's Vow and is about a down-on-his-luck artist who leaves a bar late one night. The bar owner wants to make sure he gets home safely, and for his trouble...
Help me! Help me!
So he's killed by a giant gargoyle creature. The creature says it will let the artist live as long as he vows to never tell a soul about what happened. I don't want to spoil things, but the artist ends up meeting Ray Don Chong from Commando, and there's a nice twist to the ending. This story has some great performances and an amazing gargoyle creature, again accomplished with no CGI. This story is a bit more serious than the previous ones, and it actually gets kind of emotional at the end. It's good stuff. Tales from the Darkside the movie is a ton of fun. I've always loved anthology horror films, and this is an example of one that's done right. The three main stories are excellent, and even the wraparound story is a lot of fun too. Director John Harrison lends the film some stylish direction, and the monsters and gore effects by K&B are flawless. Oh, and speaking of director John Harrison, he's actually composed a lot of film scores as well, and I'm a huge fan of the work he did with Creepshow and Day of the Dead. The guy's got a ton of talent. Scream Factory has loaded this thing up with some excellent special features. We've got 2 commentary tracks, trailers, still galleries, and behind-the-scenes footage. But the big new feature is the 6-part making of documentary. This thing is feature-length and is loaded with lots of interviews. It's very stylishly done, and honestly, it's nearly worth the price of the disc alone. I love when Scream Factory puts this kind of effort into their features. New cover art is included, and it looks amazing. We also get a reversible slip with the excellent original cover art as well. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but this is yet another flawless release from Scream Factory. The film itself is one of my favorite horror anthologies, and if you haven't seen it, check it out.